everyone, this is Shawn from Ozark Family Homestead, and what I'm going to do this week is have you come along as I'm working on some kind of general repair maintenance issues here on the homestead. Anyone that has land, if you've got a farm or a homestead, it's a continual effort to keep things going. You're always having to work on things, repair things, update things, a lot of upkeep on all these various structures. So I'm going to give you kind of some examples of things I'm working on this week. Not really new projects, just upkeep and repairs on things that we currently have. I'm going to start off today with the swing set. I'm going to go ahead and show you this swing set here. This is a homemade swing set that I made before we even lived here on the homestead. When we lived in a suburb, I had built this in the backyard. I actually disassembled it, took it apart, and moved it here and reassembled it. It's pretty old now. It's just a homemade swing set, and they've got a little place they can climb, like little towers, and then there's a slide on the end. And all the kids have used this thing for many, many years. It's getting old. And one of the issues is where we've put it now. See if I can get back here, if you can see, it's on a slope. And anytime you build something on a slope, it tends to start wanting to lean downhill over time. So I had put this brace in, I think about a year ago, to kind of help keep it from tilting downhill. It's still trying to do it, so I'm going to put a second brace in over here. Just using a 4x4. I've already kind of cut the 45-degree angle on this end, and I'll be bracing it up. So that's going to be the first project I'm working on, just to kind of keep this this old playland swing set going. So I'll film as I go on this first project. I'm wanting to try to get done here in the morning because it's going to involve some concrete work. And I wanted that concrete to dry before nighttime when it gets below freezing. Okay, so I've dug my hole. I got my beam down in the ground. I'll have it up here. I just got it leaned against there right now. So I will pour some concrete in this hole, let that harden through the day, and put some braces across the side, kind of like I did here on this one. That'll secure it in, and let that dry and help kind of keep this from leaning downhill. Okay, so got this done. Let me talk about a little bit about what I did. Put concrete in here on the bottom. Thing is with working with concrete, if you're not familiar with working with concrete, however much you estimate you're going to use, double it. It's like the concrete gremlin comes and starts eating up the concrete. It's really strange. Believe it or not, for this little bitty hole I have here, I used a half a bag of concrete. That's an 80-pound bag. So that means I put 40 pounds of concrete in that little bitty hole. It's unbelievable when you look at it. You'd think, oh, 10, 15 pounds to do it. No, it took 40 pounds of concrete to fill that hole. So I used some lumber here to brace this. This is the main beam, and for this support beam that I put in here, I connected it with these two. I used several things here. I used screws, nails, and power lags. I'll show you this power lag real quick. When you're wanting a lot of strength on something, these are really nice to use. You don't need to use too many of them. Just put a few of these in there, and that really gives a lot of strength to any project. We used a lot of these on the summer kitchen, like on the roof. But some people like to use screws on everything, and some people like to use nails. I do both. And the reason that I do both is that screws and nails serve two different purposes. Screws are good for bonding, okay? They bring two things together and hold them tight. That's what screws are good for. Nails are good for shear strength, like this, so it keeps something from doing this, okay? So A lot of times when I'm building something, I want to bond it together and I don't want it to do this. So I will screw it together first, and once it's all screwed together, I come in and I drive nails through there to give it shear strength. I mean, some people might think that's overkill, but I'd rather have overkill than something fall down. So that's just why I use both screws and nails on these types of projects. So project number 1 is done, and now I'm on to the next thing. Okay, so the dirt that I dug out of the hole, the boys are coming in here, Andrew and David are coming in here, scraping up this dirt, and we're using it over here against the summer kitchen. We are going to get the guttering put in this week, but we haven't had guttering yet, so what's happening is the rain comes straight down. It's coming in here making a mess, and it's been washing out the bottom of the foundation, so they're taking that dirt and putting it in here, filling in them gaps. And it's not supposed to rain this week, so we're going to have guttering before the next rain, so this shouldn't be a problem anymore. And so just showing how they are taking that dirt and using it somewhere where it's needed. Never let things go to waste. Okay, on to my second project of the day. I'm putting in a wall in the second floor of the summer kitchen. Basically, I know it's going to be kind of dark in here, kind of hard to see, and it's a mess up here right now, but I'm standing in what's going to be the boys' bedroom, and I'm going to be putting in a wall between the boys' bedroom and what's going to be a sewing room. And I've got part of the wall up here behind me. I'm going to be putting in the rest of this wall, and there's going to be a doorway in between. This provides 2 points of exits for both rooms, and the wall will also serve as a support for the roof. Let me just turn this around, kind of show you what I'm doing. So here's the first wall I've got put up, and going to be a doorway right in the center here. And I'm setting this up, laying my boards out for the second wall, which will go up to here. Then I'll frame in that door. So this is where I'm at right now. I'll go ahead and film after I get the rest of the wall completed. Okay, so this is the wall that's completed now. I've got it up. You got the door framed. I'll have the door arriving today. Have it in, and I've even got some boxes here. This being the sewing room, making sure that there's plenty of outlets in the room. And you can see this, not only is it a wall and a door, but also serves as a brace for the roof as well. So that instead of spanning the entire 34 feet, it is braced at this point, which is about, I'd say about 40% across the room, or 35 to 40% across the room. So project number 2 for this week has been completed. Off to the next thing. Okay, this will be my third project for this week, is working on the outhouse. The door, because it wasn't treated lumber, started kind of rotting, so I had to take the door off. I'm gonna have to rebuild the door. And then for the rest of the outhouse, I'm gonna take some of the extra siding that was left over from the summer kitchen, and I'm gonna put siding on this outhouse. Don't think it'll take me too awful long. Probably take me more time to cut the siding because it'll be short pieces than anything. So this will be my third project of the day, is fixing up the outhouse. Okay, we're about to have lunch. David and I have been out here putting siding on it, and you can see you have to put your corners on first, and then I'm just going to work our way around. It's a 4-foot by 4-foot building, so it's pretty easy to do the math. And we're going ahead and putting siding on here, and it won't take us too much longer, and we'll have us a lot fancier outhouse, won't we? Okay, so just showing this last wall back here that we need to do. And I've already worked on a little bit of the front here. Kind of see how that's going to look like. And then the sides. This side is done, as well as the back side. As you can see what that ended up looking like. Looks pretty nice. And got to work on the door. And it's gonna start getting dark, so we are probably be wrapping this up here pretty soon for the day, but we got most of project number 3 completed. See if I can finish it up tomorrow. Okay, now I am rebuilding the door on that outhouse, and what happened, well, like here behind me, the bottom of the door basically rotted off. It kept getting wet when it would rain. It was stained and everything, but over time that didn't work. So what I'm doing now is I'm rebuilding 1 foot of the bottom of this door. And a couple of things I'm going to do is, one, I'm going to zip tape the bottom of this, and zip tape is a sealant that'll keep the wood from getting wet. The zip tape will protect that wood. That'll work really well. And I'm going to cover the exterior in siding, so as I've kind of framed up the edges of it here on those 2x4s, I'll run the J channel for that siding, and the door will be protected from the weather, and it'll also match the rest of the outhouse. So I think this will look really nice once it's done. Okay, so the outhouse is now done. I've got siding all the way around it. Figured out how I was going to fix up my door. Had to make a few changes on it, but got it done. It's got a nice handle on it now. We can lock it up so that kids can't get into it, the little ones can't get into it if we're not using it. But it's got siding, so it's going to be waterproof, and this outhouse has been here for, well, since 2010. But now it's got an upgrade, and it should last a lot longer. So this is the end of this project. So tomorrow my plan is to work on some new shelving for the root cellar. Okay, so I'm on to project number 4. Behind me is our root cellar. This goes straight underground. As a lot of you already know, we live in an earth berm home, so it's built into the side of a hill. So this is beside the house, and what's really convenient about this is they just continued out the concrete wall and then made this, basically it could double as a storm shelter. So it just opens up, and I don't know how well you can see in there because it's pretty dark right now. But inside there, we keep canned goods. And there's already some shelves in there, and those shelves would be, about 35 years old, I'd say, at this point, from the original owner. So I'm going to go in and redo one of those shelves. Also, I'm going to put some rails on here. This is actually surplus material we've got from the stairs on the summer kitchen. So I'm going to take this and put some kind of a lip around the edge to kind of keep things from falling off. We do live in earthquake zone, so if there is a little bit of shaking going on, we don't want things to come off the shelf. So it's supposed to snow in about 2 hours, so I'm trying to get ahead of the snow, get my boards cut, and then I'll probably bring a light in there so you can see it a little bit better once I get these shelves completed and put in there. Okay, so I want to show these shelves. I am using plywood for the shelves, and these are treated. It means there is like a chemical they put in there. It keeps it from rotting. It's water resistant. It should last for decades. Had to notch this out a little bit where the legs are to the shelves, and these are the surplus pieces from the railing on the summer kitchen that I'm going to be using to put along the edge like this so that things will not fall off. And anytime you're working with small wood like this, you always want to pre-drill your holes because if you try to just start putting a screw in something this small, it'll probably split the wood. So you always want to pre-drill when you're working with something this small. And of course, anytime you're using power tools, like so many things that we use on the homestead, you have to be careful. Make sure you know what you're doing. Just showing here is the old shelf that I just pulled out. It was not treated. It was starting to kind of rot. It gets wet in there. So, and this is the new treated lumber. Of course, it's going to be 2 pieces instead of one long 8-foot piece. I'm just going to use 2 4-foot pieces. So just showing the difference between untreated wood. It's especially after it's been exposed to moisture, versus treated wood, which should last a lot longer. Okay, well, I had the shelf rebuilt. I had to rebuild the corner. I had to put some more braces in. I put another shelf down here. Sarah will come in here and put her things back in here in a little bit. I've got that ridge on there so they won't fall off, and you can see some of the things that has been canned. So it makes a great, cool place to store things. And so project number 4 has been completed. Well, that does it for my 4 projects. And just again, just want to give everybody an idea of this type of things that I work on here on the homestead. Just pretty typical. Anybody that has property, has a bunch of buildings, there's always things to maintain, there's always things to improve, and just kind of a glimpse of a typical day for me out here in the homestead. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit that thumbs up, and until next time, we'll see you later. Well, I just made my video to end about my projects, and then got a call, and here comes some wood chips. So I'm going to throw this in here toward the end of the video. We got this big load of wood chips, and we're going to use that where Daisy the cow is at in her shelter, just to kind of create a base so it doesn't get muddy in there. Then we'll put straw on top of that. So that's going to be another project here to start transferring that over there to the cow shed. And it is sleeting. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it is sleeting. Weather is getting nasty, so he was able to drop that off with the dump trailer just as the weather got bad. So so this will be project number 5 for this week.
Thanks for watching Ozark.